I have gathered you all here today to help me solve a murder. The murder of the murder on the Orient Express, or murder in the Calais coach if you hail from the colonies. Well, actually it's more like the GBH of murder on the Orient Express. I mean, the film's not a complete train wreck, but it's nowhere as good as it should be. So, who is the culprit? Was it you, Johnny Depp, the actor who hasn't appeared in a critical or commercial hit in years? No, you're barely a cameo, and even you're not that bad yet. Or was it you, Daisy Ridley, the woman who went from a corpse in Silent Witness to Star Wars? Has your star burnt too brightly too quickly? No, you're a good actress with a solid head on your shoulders and quality to burn. As long as you make good choices, I'll be talking about your films for years. Could it be Josh Gad, the comedic actor who has yet to make good on either of these dubious claims? No, despite the fact that you were in Pixels, you're not in this film enough to ruin it, which is the only good thing about having so many characters. No characters on screen enough to break the film. It's also why Dame Judi Dench and Olivia Colman can basically steal the show with maybe 7 minutes of screen time. Although, to be fair, Dame Judi Dench did win an Oscar for a similar amount of screen time. What about you, random camera person? Was it you who decided to make the frankly bizarre shooting choices? Was it you who decided that when a body is discovered in a murder mystery not to show it, and instead decided just to show the tops of people's heads for several minutes? Was it you that failed to make a murder mystery set on board a snowbound train a tight, claustrophobic experience as the cold draws in and food and water begins to run low and everyone is a suspect in a place where there is nowhere to hide and nowhere to run without freezing to death? Surely you can't point the finger at Dame Agatha Christie, the best-selling novelist of all time and so-called Queen of Murder, whose novels have sold roughly 2 billion copies, and her estate claims that her work come third in the rankings of the world's most widely published books, behind only Shakespeare's works and the Bible. And whilst Murder isn't her best work, that goes to her nihilistic masterpiece, And Then There Were None, it's still a seriously good work, even if it never does quite explain why, if you were plotting to kill someone and a world-famous detective turned up, you wouldn't delay it for a day or 3. No. Surely the finger of blame can only be placed upon the man who tried too hard. The man who plays both the lead role and directs, whilst giving a home to 3 hairy caterpillars on his face. Sir Kenneth Charles Branagh! It was you who squandered enough star power to light up Vegas. It was you who failed to make this a close and tight and claustrophobic as it should be. It was you who made this glossy but empty film. It was you who made poor random cameraman utilise those random camera angles. It was you who put action scenes in an Agatha Christie film. A freaking Agatha Christie work. The closest those things get to action is someone being offered another scone. I mean, how do you screw up a murder mystery? Seriously, Death in Paradise follows this formula perfectly week after week after week, especially when you, Sir Kenneth, are working with James Pritchard of Agatha Christie Limited and is Christie's great-grandson. And you want to franchise this? This? Why? How? Alright, I'd rather take my mother to this than Professor Marsden and the Wonder Woman, but that's not much of a choice. It's all show and no go, with no depth to any of the characters, no real sense of mystery or a net closing around the killer. And yes, your Last Supper imagery is very clever. Now pat yourself on the back as Chief Inspector James Harold Japp drags you back to the Walt Disney Corporation's welcoming tentacles. Because why you would watch this when the ridiculously superior ITV version starring David Suchet is freely available online simply baffles me. Yes, it's not the worst murder adaptation I've ever seen, but on the other hand, I definitely think this is If Nothing Else. If nothing else is on, you should check this out. Otherwise, check out the ITV versions. But what did you guys think, and what is your favourite murder mystery of all time? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel. It's been a donkey. If you've enjoyed this accent, please tell me, because it was seriously hard work. See you next time, guys.